When we're in this process of stepping into new things, stretching into a higher version of ourselves, and accelerated growth, we can begin to question our worth, and it often manifests itself as imposter syndrome. Those of us destined to support the building of the new must understand that it's going to come with the typical growing pains. For example, have you ever found yourself in a room full of powerful people only to feel like you don't really belong? Like everyone else somehow deserves to be there more than you do? If so, you might be experiencing imposter syndrome. Trust me when I tell you, this feeling affects even the most successful people. In recent years, imposter syndrome has become a bit of a buzzword, but even if you've read all the articles and listened to all the podcasts, you may still be struggling with overcoming your imposter syndrome, because imposter syndrome isn't a logical problem. It's a very intimate experience and presents itself very differently for each person. The key is to activate the self-awareness necessary to identify it when it shows up in your process. I even tell some of my clients, make it part of your process. If you know that imposter syndrome is where you go at the beginning of every up level, make it part of the process. This helps you neutralize its power to slow you down. So today we're breaking down how to not only recognize imposter syndrome, but how to stop doubting yourself. And most importantly, how to step fully into your power and own your success. If you're new here, I'm Patty Ferreira, Intuitive Success Catalyst for ambitious women who want it all. Success, financial freedom, and fulfillment at every level. I work with high-achieving women to help them step fully into their worth, break through their fears, and create the lives they're meant to live. So if imposter syndrome has been holding you back from fully embracing your power, today's episode is for you. Let's start at the beginning, conquering imposter syndrome. This begins with recognizing the signs. It's about awareness. Imposter syndrome often creeps up on us when we're least expecting it. You might notice it when you land a big opportunity, or when someone praises your work, or you feel like you don't deserve it. Take a moment to think. Have you ever dismissed or diminished a compliment by saying, "Oh, that's nothing," or feel like any success you've achieved was just luck? Recognizing these thoughts is the first step to breaking free. Once you know you're up against imposter syndrome, it's time to start reframing your negative thoughts. It's not enough to just know logically that something isn't true. You have to completely rework the foundation. The goal is to focus on what you know is true and to create emotional safety, even in the face of your fears or anxieties. So instead of thinking, "I don't belong here," try saying something like, "I've worked hard to get here. I have a lot of value to offer." Imposter syndrome thrives on doubt and fear. But when you start to reframe those thoughts, you shift your mind's focus from self-doubt to self-trust. Remember, confidence is a skill that grows with practice. Every time you reframe, you're reinforcing your worth. Because imposter syndrome is a chronic issue that rears its ugly head again and again, I recommend coming up with long-term strategies to shush the mean voices in your head. One way to do this is to keep a success log. In a journal or even in your phone's notes, write down your accomplishments, big or small, and remind yourself of them regularly. This can be as simple as jotting down a quick win you had at a meeting, or screenshotting a complimentary message from a client. These little things are not about your ego. It's about truthfully acknowledging the amazing work you've done. Reviewing this can help you ground yourself and help you remember that you're capable and deserving of everything you've achieved and so much more. Imposter syndrome is something we all face. But by recognizing it, reframing it, and celebrating your wins, you can start to trust your success. It's an exercise of awakening and activating the circuitry and the coding within you that is meant to support your highest trajectory. Tell me in the comments, what's one accomplishment from this past month that you're proud of? Let's celebrate each other and keep growing together. And don't forget to hit subscribe so we can meet back here next week. I'll see you then.